It was supposed to be a romantic date. A moonlit walk along the beach, the sound of waves, a handsome man. But for me, a woman with severe hearing loss, this was not an ideal situation. Walking side by side, the noise, the dark, made it difficult, impossible to lip read. My date said something to me, and I didn't catch it. And I didn't want to say, "Pardon?" again. It sounded like a yes-no question. "50-50, I was going to get it right." I said, "No." He never called me again. And I still don't know what he said. That night taught me something that I would not fully understand for a few years. I had bluffed. I had faked it, which is pretending you understand when you don't. But bluffing is more than just a random slip-up. It is a survival tactic with consequences. My pride, my poor communication sabotaged what might have been an important relationship. We all bluff sometimes, but people with hearing loss bluff frequently. Trying to convince people that we understand what they're saying by faking it is the dirty little secret of hearing loss. Hearing loss isn't rare, and it's coming for many more of us. The World Health Organization estimates that by 2050, the number of people worldwide living with disabling hearing loss will double to more than 700 million. That's 1 in 10 people who will need help to hear, with a rippling impact on the people in their lives. There's going to be a lot of bluffing going on. But if bluffing isn't honest or good communication, why do we do it? For many reasons. To hide the fact of our hearing loss, difficult group conversations that are hard to follow, too much noise, not enough light, poor speaking habits. And people with hearing loss often don't know how to fix the situation, or that they even have the right to ask for help. And we hate bothering you with, "Pardon? Pardon? Pardon?" Communicating with hearing loss requires deep wells of energy, because it is not something we do in the background while we complete another task. It is the task. Hearing people, which is what we call people who don't have hearing loss, you do what comes naturally. You hear. You can't help it. We have to work at it. And we don't want you to think that we're old, even if we are, or that we are no longer as capable, or we are lesser than. This is the stigma of hearing loss that we carry deep inside, unspoken, but deeply felt. We need to stop feeling this as a defect, as a personal defect, and focus on the communication challenge. There's an easy fix for that, right? Get a hearing aid. Well, here's another secret that we don't discover until after we get them. Hearing aids don't fix hearing loss in the way that wearing glasses correct vision. The two senses are different, and hearing aids cannot yet replicate the complex hearing process. Now, I love my hearing aid. I love my cochlear implant. Yet, even with this amazing technology, I still need help to understand what's being said. We use visual information, speech reading, captions, clear sight lines so that we can follow the topic. It is embarrassing when the talk shifts to politics and you're still yakking at the weather. We need to ask for help. Living well with hearing loss isn't instinctive. Just because we have it doesn't mean we're good at it. We need to learn useful strategies and share them with the people in our lives because they don't know what to do either. And they're not mind readers. And they may not notice when we are bluffing because we have become rather good at it. Yep, we adopt that mysterious Mona Lisa smile. And we throw in a nod or two, raise an eyebrow. We look as if we're following along. Or we copy other people. If they're happy, we're happy. If they're sad, so are we. But did I not stop bluffing after that romantic disaster? No. But a few years later, there was another handsome man. I woke up one morning early, and without my devices or my glasses, I am deaf and nearsighted. But his face was just a pillow away. I saw his lips move, and I thought I was following along and understanding what I saw him saying, but should I bluff? Not this time. I asked him to repeat what he said, and he did. Let's get married. I said yes. But this isn't a fairy tale. One kiss from my prince didn't cure me of bluffing, and I still didn't know how to stop. But I was about to find out. At the age of 40, I was expecting a baby. A baby. For the first time, my hearing loss worried me. What if I couldn't hear him? What if I couldn't hear my baby burp or cry or breathe? I couldn't bluff with my baby, and I didn't know anyone with the lived experience who could help me. So I reached out to other people with hearing loss. At a conference, a woman with a baby in her arms sat down with me. The baby seemed to be thriving, a good sign. And the mom said, "Gail, you can do this." I felt support rippling out from everyone I met. Instead of shame, they exuded confidence. My stigma vanished. I had been hearing as hard as I could for my entire life, but my biggest communication barrier was me. I left that conference with a new and powerful self-image of a woman in charge of her own hearing loss journey. I was not alone. I had the right to ask for accommodation. I embraced new behaviors and healing attitudes that would transform my conversation and keep my baby safe. In a seismic aha moment, my goal changed from wanting to hear better to wanting to communicate better. Communication connects us. It's a tango for two, a folk dance for many. But bluffing can stop the music. Communication isn't just what we say. I might not agree with what you're saying. I might not like your choice of words. I might not even like you. But for good communication, I need to be present. And to be present, I need to express my needs. For example, I'm not following this, but talking with you is important, so could you face me? Or let's move to a quieter table with more light. Or thank you for speaking up, but there's no need to yell or over-enunciate. When we express our needs as valid and natural, people will usually respond in the same way. We may not all be able to hear well, but we can all communicate better. And when we do, our relationships are stronger, more intimate. If you have hearing loss, be open about it. And if you are a communication partner, we give you permission to initiate good conversation. Get our attention, face to face. Speak clearly. Lower the noise, raise the light, create clear sight lines. Be present. Recently, my now 30-year-old son, yes, he thrived, he was asked, "Joel, you communicate really well. Did you get that from your mom?" "Partly," he said. "But I learned from an early age that if I didn't communicate in the way that she needs, we would both have to keep dealing with the frustrations of pardon, pardon, pardon." I still lapse into bluffing on occasion, but my guiding mantra is my no-bluff pledge. In my life, I will not bluff. I will not pretend to understand when I do not. Instead, I will do all that it takes to engage, interact, and communicate. At its very least, good communication is courtesy. At its greatest, it is love. So why would we bluff? Why would we fake it and miss out on all of that?